Hey guys, so today, you read the title, you know what this video is. I was gonna try to find a way to justify my decision today, but really my only justifications are that I have so much less time these days. I do think over the years, I've kind of clung on and hung on to plants that I don't really love so much because of my job being a plant tuber. I'm like, what if I need to make a video about this specific plant? I need to keep it, you know? I think I'm to the point where I don't need every room of my house to be coated from head to toe, ceiling to floor in plants. I think I'm stalling. Let's just get started. I'm going to start where it's extra hard for me to get rid of plants, which is this plant shelf. And my upstairs plants are going to be a lot harder than the downstairs plants because the ones up here are the ones I bond with the most. I see every day. We say good mornings and good nights every single day. So I am just a little bit more attached to these. And even as I'm looking at them right now, oh my gosh, I do know. Okay, let me bring you in. Basically, I'm just going one by one through my plants, deciding if I want to keep it or not. The two plants here, I am for sure going to be, well, there's three. Monstera obliqua, because clearly it's sad. Syndapsis trubii moonlight. Gonna wash this. And I'm for sure going to be doing something with my spaghetti squash this week. I'm going to pot it up outside. It's getting so many leaves. I can't believe how big it's getting. I feel like a proud mother. Look at those roots. Actually, also this neon pothos, because I know I did just recently move this up there, but I don't know why I'm trying to keep when I'm also simultaneously trying to get rid of plants. Although this is a really nice plant. So of course, I'm gonna show you guys what I do with everything. I'm also keeping my eyes out for any plants that need a change. These are plants that I've maybe considered getting rid of for whatever reason. Ones that don't really do it for me anymore. Ones that have small issues like need to be potted. Plants that have infestations, but I'm just not willing to trash or give up on yet. Kind of all of those kinds of plants are gonna go into this category. Even though they're still physically here, taking up space, it's more of a mental declutter for me. I think I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed because my surfaces are kind of collecting a lot of plants again, as you saw, and it's making it really hard to keep things tidy and clean. That's the point that I'm like, okay, something needs to change. So here we are. Moral of that story, I'll be cleaning the shelf soon, and I'm really excited for it because it's disgusting. Anything I find upstairs that I'm considering getting rid of is gonna go onto this table. Once everything's collected, I'm gonna sort it into 3 different categories, which we'll get into at that point in the process. And we'll talk about what I'm going to do with each of those 3 categories. Well, I also, off the top of my head, Philodendron atabapoense, which don't get me wrong, I really like having a plant in this spot, but this one is just a little bit stunted in growth. And I don't want to deal with it anymore. Philodendron micans propagations. Oh, but something will have to go back in that spot because it's a little bit barren over there. I did recently reorganize this bathroom, so I feel like it's fine. I already know I love everything in this bathroom, but you know what? This is a big moment. This is my mealybug infested Hoya polyneura, and this has been infested with mealies for over a year. I know that sounds ridiculous. I don't know how they're surviving. I've done Bonide, I've done Captain Jack's, I literally feel like I've tried everything for this plant, but it is so overrun with the mealies. Yeah. I think it's time. I think it's time. Okay, I know what I want to do with this, so I'm just going to take care of it now so I can get it out of my mind. I cut off the macrame. I'm going to throw this away because I don't want to be getting, there could be mealies on that. Yuck. It's going to go a little snip happy and cut all of the vines off and put them in this bin down here to soak. This is white vinegar and water. Ew. Ew, you guys, why can't I just give up? I don't want to let them win. They're kind of cute, actually. There we go. Ew, ew. I'm gonna have to change my shirt after this. I cannot believe how bad this plant got. And like I said, I've been aware of this problem for a year, and not even just been aware. I feel like I've done stuff to take care of it, but I don't know. This one has just always been, from the get-go, a problem plant for me, but I love it so much I cannot make myself give up on it. I'm taking all of the cuts I can as close to the substrate as I can, getting as many nodes into it as possible. Like, yeah, just take cuts, I don't know. That's so, what the hell? I should just throw this away. I can't though, I can't. I wish I could just give up on it and buy a new one, but I don't want to. I feel like I've wasted enough money on plants over the years. There we go. It's kind of a weird cut, but we'll see. All right. Macrame cord, garbage, plant, and substrate. Garbage, these things I will clean. This stuff is going out. Added a little dish soap, and I'm gonna top the rest of this water off. I made it really sudsy and really tried to make sure that everything got dunked under the water at some point, so it's like kind of coated with the dish soap. Okay, this is just gonna go back outside until, I don't know, we'll see. It might be days before I deal with this. The day got away from me, but the boys are in their beds right now. Not quite asleep, but hopefully it happens quick. I needed to bring in the plants off the deck because it's only gonna get to like 40 degrees tonight. Back to the declutter. The point of this video for the rest of tonight, I'm going to be going through all of the different areas of my house and picking out which plants I will not be keeping, then sorting each of those plants into one of 4 categories. Trash, these are for super unhealthy, infested plants that I just don't feel comfortable sending to someone, and also don't feel comfortable or like have it under control, or like I have it under control in any sort of way. So we'll call this, yes. The next category are plants that I am going to pass on to friends and family. These are plants that are in good health. I just maybe don't give them the time that they deserve. I'm less stressed. The plant man I'm doing a lot better in its new home. And it's also a win for those that end up with free plants. So win, win, win. Love that. Category 3 is the change category. There's something about this plant that needs to be fixed in order for me to appreciate it more. So like right off the bat example, that Hoya from earlier today. And a lot of the times the only thing that needs to change about a plant is a little bit more special of a planter, or maybe these plants need to be moved to a new spot for a little bit before I decide to actually get rid of them. But they're definitely on my radar. This is the category where there could be some change. The plants really could go one way or another here. There's been many a plant that have found themselves in this category that have ended up being some of my favorite plants when I've gotten them repotted or taken care of in a better substrate, watered a little more, in a better spot, those kinds of little things. Trash, rehome, and change. The plants I'll be throwing away today are this root ball and substrate of the Hoya polyneura, Dioscorea discolor infested with scale that it's not worth it to me. Begonia Cleopatra that just keeps dying back and dying back. I just don't think we're meant to be. And this one is, I have a mother plant that's really, really pretty. This one is just a propagation. So yeah, I'm giving up on it. Also gonna toss these leftover neon pothos and Monstera adansonii cuttings that I was water propagating for a long time and then just potted up actually in a recent video. I don't need that many of each kind of plant, so throwing it away. And a couple of philodendron Micans cuttings that I don't know why I'm propagating. I don't need more of that. Why do I keep doing this? Good morning. I stayed up pretty late last night. Other than the grow tent, I went through all of my plants last night and really had a heart-to-heart with them about if I wanted to keep them or if I wanted to get rid of them. This is my get rid of shelf, the ones that I'm going to rehome to friends and family. And I'm just moving everything here to keep it organized so that I can do them all at once. Rehome. Just got to take photos of each of these. I'm gonna send those photos to my friends and family to hopefully rehome them. I'm not in the mood to really be selling, especially any of the larger plants and shipping, especially the larger plants. So I do need them to go to people like face to face. We have Ficus altissima. Every single winter, this dies back. It drops every single one of its leaves. And I stress about it. And on that same note, Ficus Audrey, sitting right behind it, kind of grows, but not well enough that I feel like confident how I'm caring for this plant. I've also got my Hoya viola here, which is one that's kind of hard for me to part ways with. I know this is the right decision. This plant isn't happy. It's so pale. I will say I did recently pot this one up. Yeah, it's just time to give up on it, honestly. It's one that I should pass on. Okay, Philodendron adipopoense. The growth is really small, really stunted, and neon pothos back there. Those are a bunch of propagations, and I'm already sick of it. I already have one of these in my house. Why do I need to have another one? This one, Syngonium T25, which I don't know, it's not like it looks terrible, but the new growth is just coming in very, very small. And the last one in this category, Syndapsis trubii moonlight. For a long time there, I really loved Syndapsis, but I just don't think that they do it for me anymore. They're a little bit, they're not like difficult, but they get a little bit sparse looking for my taste pretty easily. So that's why I just don't think they do it for me anymore. Although I do think they're beautiful when they're well kept. Now I'm gonna move over to this section of plants, which are my mealybug infested plants. That's what this has turned into. So, like the Hoya polyneura yesterday, these two Syngoniums, red spot tricolor, and Three Kings or Jade or whatever you wanna call it. This one has like a million different names. Take off my shoes. But I'm just at my wit's end with them. So I'm making last ditch efforts on them, which yeah, is basically just the same process as you saw me yesterday. Cut it as far down as possible. Yeah. Take off these bottom dying leaves. Add it to my mealybug soup bin to let the plant soak, to kill all those freaking mealies, because I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. And same for this guy. And add them to the soup. You know what? Put something heavy on top to help hold them under the water. Just like yesterday. I'm gonna go dump this into my secondhand soil bin. Now just these sections to go through. So my jam jar begonia props are ready to be shipped out. These are going to the Plant Prodigy. This one is a Begonia pavonina and it does have a new leaf. It is ready to be shipped. I'm going to ship it on Monday, and then a begonia nahangensis. It is definitely rooted, no new growth or anything like that, but it's ready. We're gonna set everything aside that needs to be shipped out. This one is a Begonia Stanleyana Aria. Begonia, gosh, I just have begonia on the brain. This Monstera Stanleyana Aria is one of my favorite plants, and I overwatered it. That's why all of the leaves are curly. Something needs to change with this plant. I do not know what happened here, but clearly I did something not nice to this plant. These roots are just mush. This one doesn't even have any roots left. I'm just gonna go ahead and move them into this clear jar of sphagnum moss. I'm doing this so that I can keep watch on the root system, and I really like rehabbing plants in moss. Just for me, it's an easy substrate to kind of navigate and tell when things are doing well and also not doing well, which in the case of a plant like this, that's super valuable to be able to watch them up close and personal. And I also like being able to see any new root growth. Hopefully that does okay. This Hoya needs to be repotted. I'm not sure of the ID, so if you know, please tell me, because I'll really have no idea. I want to say it starts with a V. I don't know where the letter V is coming from, but yeah, if you know what this ID is, I would really appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to pot it up into this planter. It's just right now in this little plastic nursery pot, and I don't love that. So I think I'll get a lot more enjoyment out of this plant if I repot it. And if in a few months from now I'm just still not filling it, then that's when I know it's time to take a photo, send it to my friends and family, and see if anybody wants to claim it. So let's get her potted up. Okay. Got my little potting tray and a whole bunch of supplies here. So like I said, this is the planter I'm going to pot it up into, and since there's no drainage hole, I'm going to add a little layer of horticultural charcoal to the bottom of the planter so that to keep it clean, to keep it, I don't know, it just keeps it cleaner. Just a small thin little layer. Okay, and now I'm gonna add in my substrate, which is just my same go-to potting mix I use for pretty much everything. Let's just fill it up to about here. Now, of course, we're gonna unpot this guy. Let's see, let's just use my scissors to help break up this root ball a little bit. Roots look pretty good. Stick them in. I'm gonna have to vacuum for sure. Backfill. Oh, that's so much better. Honestly, it looks really good. I'm feeling very, very good about this. I think that was the decision. I think that was the move, and it needed to happen so that I could get enjoyment out of this plant again. So it's gonna live, move my Vizzy right here. It's gonna hang down a little bit right here. Now to clean this up. Oh, as always, the used substrate is going into my secondhand substrate bin. I think the last plant I'm gonna get rid of is this Hoya Memoria, which is in this little terracotta planter I painted. It's really cute. It's just a bunch of propagations. I did this back around the holiday time, but I do still have the mother plant. It's actually right here, a lot bigger than this little baby. So I do think it's time to part ways with this one. And this is another one I'm going to be sending out. It's gonna go over in the package and ship out category, which is a category I've just added. Everything's taken care of that I wanted taken care of. I think that was a really successful plant collection, destash, declutter. It feels really good to have all of that under control and to have a game plan for the plants that when I looked at them, they just didn't do it for me. The plants that kind of stressed me out. It feels good to know what I want to do with them. I really appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video and seeing how all of my plants ended up, which ones I decided to get rid of and why. An extra thank you to those on Instagram who helped me decide on some of the plants. I really appreciate it because it is just such a hard decision. And even though in the back of our minds, we probably know, well, I know which ones I need to get rid of. It's just, it's so much easier when somebody else tells you what to do, you know? So thank you. Thank you for telling me what to do. Now that that's all taken care of, I'm gonna go around and water everything. I just feel so free and lightweight, like I can just water all of my plants in an hour. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. I sure did. Like I said, I feel light as a feather with so many less plants. And I will see you in my next one. How was that for an ending?